All right, YouTube, we're back with the dash. So I got a little bit done. Been messing with it all day, kind of off and on. I showed you guys in the last video. This is the dash. This is the cover piece that I showed you. I pulled the material off of it. So this is what it looked like up underneath of that. You can see some of the material still held on there. They had some good glue on there. This is what it looks like up under there. It's just plastic. It's got a little texture to it. So this was the pieces without the material on it. I found this right here in the scrap pile. So if you see that contour right there, you see how big it is. You know, it humps up right here, comes over and humps down. Well, this is the middle section. So on the ends, as it went, it was kind of a long piece. It was probably like 2 feet long. So as it got closer to the end, say this is the whole piece. As it got closer to the end, that little, that little hump that comes over like that was a lot smaller. So what I did was I found it and I cut it. I cut it here and I used it to fill this gap in right here. And it's strong. It's aluminum, but it's strong. It's kind of thick. You can see that baby's kind of thick. And I pop riveted it in there and gave it some good structure. So I'm happy with that. And I did the same thing on this side over here. I used a piece of that and put it in right here. And then I just used a piece of just regular old sheet metal for right there. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That turned out pretty good, man. And I know that once this is all done, see, you put Landau foam. Landau foam is like, I guess they have it in different thicknesses, but I'm gonna go with maybe a quarter inch Landau foam. And if you put your foam down, from all the videos I've been watching, 'cause I watch a lot of YouTube videos too. I don't just, do this stuff. And like, I learn from everybody, man. Like I told you guys in the previous video, Stitch by Slick. He's one of the best deluxe auto restyling on YouTube. If you guys want to check him out, he's in right outside Louisville, Kentucky. Man, he's a real good interior guy as well. I learned a lot from these videos, so I know that I can put the Landau foam on here, glue it down, and then you can actually sand the Landau foam down. So if I it's a little hump up right here, but not much. So when I glue my Landau foam all the way down and I get it where I want it, if I have a little hump right here, I can take a block and some sandpaper, just sand it down to where it's perfectly level. And the same thing on this side over here. If I have a little hump or something in there, I can put that Landau foam and then sand that little bit down so it's perfectly smooth. And then once I glue the material on top, you ain't even gonna see it. So, let me take this off of here so you guys can get a better look at what I'm talking about. So, like I said, it has some bolts that hold it on here, but it also has a bunch of tabs. So let me pull it off here for you guys to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so now you see the dash. You see this is an extra piece here. You know what I mean? This is what the pad was and the material was glued to. So, there's the shell of the dash without it. And then here's the piece. You see it has all of these tabs on it that hold it down, but it also has the bolt holes. So once I get it on there, I can put the bolts back in it. So, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So we're making a little progress. And then I got right here, I got to looking. So I told you in the previous video as well, by me extending this side over right here in the middle, it was gonna open it up, not only to give me some space in here for my steering column, but also for my factory gauge bezel. Now, I don't have a lot of money. I can't afford some fancy big, they make some real nice gauges these days, man. They have all kind of companies that make fancy gauges, and you can put whole digital dashes and do all of this stuff, man. But like I keep saying, we're working on a budget right here. So, this is what I'm going to use for right now. I did see some things. They have some things online where you can just buy like a new faceplate for this factory gauge, and it kind of gives it a different look. I might look into getting one of those. They didn't seem like they was too expensive, maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks for the new I guess they just call this like a face plate. So I might do that, but right now I'm trying to get everything together. So I got it sitting down in there pretty good. You know, I'm liking the way it's sitting. It's decent, you know what I mean? It's not 100% perfect or nothing, but this is the bezel that goes on top. This is from the factory. You know, this was the Cadillac. It sat right here in the middle like this. Of course, now that I cut the dash and extended it, I'm gonna have to cut this. Either I'm thinking about cutting it on each side here, because this center circle lines up pretty good with the actual center speedometer. I just, you know, over here it needs to be extended, and over here it needs to be extended because my gauges go out a little farther. So I'm still trying to figure out which route I'm gonna take with extending this out. But then there's this piece here. This is the cover, the fancy cover with the, you know, the material wrapped on it. This sat on top of here, and it sits like that, and it snaps on there, just like how this piece snaps onto this bottom dash. This snaps on there too. So I'm gonna have to cut this. Wherever I cut the bezel part at is where I'm gonna have to cut this at and extend it as well. And then I'll just pull this material off, and when I get the dash start wrapping the dash, or having somebody wrap it, I'll have them wrap this as well. And like I said, there's a trim panel that goes here, covers all of this up. I'm gonna have them wrap that, and the glove compartment. I haven't started on the glove compartment yet. I tore it into pieces. I got to cut apart into pieces. So this was a headache in itself. This is the glove compartment with the material torn off of it. I took the handle out. They glued this piece to this piece. So this is the, you know, if you open the glove compartment, here's the glove compartment, you open it up, this is the inside of the glove compartment. This black stuff is like some kind of felt. So I figured that maybe this faceplate of the daggone glove compartment was screwed on, but I was wrong. It was glued. And man, they must have used some Gorilla Glue or something. I don't know. But you can see, man, they put so much glue on this thing. Every one of those little spots, them little light spots, is where they had all of that glue at. And I pried. I had to get 2-3 screwdrivers and jamming them in there to keep one spot up as I would pry the other spot. It didn't want to come up. Finally, I got it apart though. So I'm gonna have to cut both of these. Cut this one and cut the faceplate. And this is the actual structure here of the this right here is the actual structure. So let me show you that. So of course, this is the bottom, so it sits like this. This part bolts into the dash. This part bolts into the dash. It's like 1, 2, 3, it's 4 bolts on the bottom. It's like 3 or 4 or 5 bolts on the top. This bolts into the dash. And then that glove compartment snaps in on these hooks, and then, you know, it opens and closes, it has the little latch or whatever. So I'm gonna have to cut this whole piece, extend it. Once I extend it, then I'm gonna have to cut the glove compartment, both pieces of the glove compartment, and extend them. So, you know, people always wonder, and I always wondered myself about these dash swaps and stuff, man. These guys make them look easy, but I'm here to tell you this is a real challenge for me. I'm glad, you know, for everybody that's been watching and following the build, man. I thank y'all for being patient with me. I try to make these videos as, you know, in-depth and explanatory. You know, I try to explain everything the best as possible. So, you know, I hope you guys is liking the videos and liking the progress. I'm kind of excited about the build, really, honestly. The more and more I get done, the more and more I get excited. So I'm happy with the results thus far. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.